going to touch on a few things before I close this out. I pray that this message is received well, because I feel like it is all over the place, and I hope that I'm not leaving out a main point. When I went to the hospital the last part of 2021, I remember when I was in the hospital, I was on the phone. I was talking to two members that are still in the sorority. And I was telling them about what my daddy told me as far as me not having to be on medication forever. And now that particular time, I had stopped. I wasn't taking my medicine, not on purpose, but because each time I tried to go and get it filled, something would come up. Honestly, I took it as a sign that maybe I didn't need to, but it wasn't just like, oh, I'm not gonna take this anymore. But I was explaining that me and my daddy had the same diagnosis, and he told me that I wouldn't have to be on the medication forever. When I said that, one of the members who used to be an advisor said, see, that's what happens when people don't accept their diagnosis. She said it with full conviction. And it bothered me, and I couldn't understand why. I kept gaslighting myself. Brittany, she didn't mean it like that, so on and so forth. But it would just keep coming back to me. And it wasn't until after I denounced the sorority, the Lord brought it back to me, and he said, it made you mad because you know what I can do. You know my power. When you were going blind, I healed you. You don't accept a diagnosis. The only diagnosis you accept is by his stripes, I am healed. When I made the post in, I can't remember what year it was, but I basically explained what was going on with me, and I referenced as a mental health condition, because it is conditional for me. It's conditional. I do not accept the diagnosis, and I won't. And outside of my daddy, the psychiatrist at Terrell, and my now psychiatrist has told me that I will not have to be on medication forever. I no longer need a sleeping pill. Number one, the two medications that I was on last are the lowest dosage of that medicine. I only take one now, and it is the lowest dosage for the medication. And he told me that when I'm ready, that I can start being weaned off. And another reason why I no longer need the sleep medication is because I did research, getting my hormone levels checked and different things of that nature. I take the proper vitamins and everything to make sure that I'm able to sleep and nothing is interrupting my sleep. And also I'm not dibbling and dabbling in witchcraft. He said that when I'm ready, that we will do that. There is a reason why I haven't as of yet, but I'm proud to say that I've made great progress, and I know that I will continue to make progress. When I did that video, the end of 2021, it was around this time, end of December, that was the hardest video that I had to make, because God wanted me to talk about me and my daddy's relationship, the dynamics of the relationship, how it was sabotaged, the dynamics, his and my mother's relationship. There were things that I did not want to say. I was trying to go around the mulberry bush, but he was like, no, I need you to say it. I need you to say it with your chest. And I had to just put it on YouTube. I'm like, well, Lord, it's cool. It only got 2 views. That's fine. He said, no, put it on Facebook. Put it on Facebook. And see, I thought that, one, I knew that I would help somebody because I didn't receive the revelation until after he passed. But I was on there talking about balancing my chakras and sage and meditating with my palms up and I know I didn't reference yoga, but no, that's worshiping other gods. I didn't mention Reiki, but I've received Reiki before. He said, get on there, talk. Tell them about this witchcraft. Tell them about everything that you're a part of. Because what I didn't know was that was the prerequisite for this video. Had I not been obedient, I didn't understand why. I felt like I was helping somebody. I knew that it would help somebody, but I did not want to do that video. I didn't want to say, but I did what he wanted me to do. And now I understand that he was saying, look, if I can get you to say this, if you will say this, I know you're going to say it because I've prepared you for it. I know you're going to step. But he said, if I can get you to say, I know you're going to come back 2 years later and deliver this message. This message has been in the making all of my life. I learned that history step when I was 9 in Cottonwood on a concrete floor. The importance is that it was on a concrete floor. Because if you step in on concrete, you have to drive your feet for it to be loud. He took me back to that. He said, I wanted to make sure your step was the loudest. I wanted to make sure you were placed on that stage. See, I thought I was going to UCA. Well, number one, the Deltas were suspended at that time. But I thought that when I went to Rush that I was doing my will. He said, no, you're doing my will. He said, you think that people are drawn to you. They're saying this and that. I want to be like her because she's a Delta. He said, no, I put that influence in you before I formed you in your mother's womb. They saw your light, which is from me. And I would vacillate. Some days, God, I'm going to do it. And then, Lord, are you sure you want me to say this? And each time he would confirm, he would answer me. One night in October, I was feeling the same way. I was saying, Lord, are you sure? I was reading my Bible. I fell asleep. Didn't think anything of it. The next day, I had recently joined this faith community at work. I didn't know at the time that it was a Bible study. And we were on the Zoom, and the weeks prior, 2 women had led the Bible study. This particular time, it was a male. It was a man. He was of Asian descent. Everybody got on, and he said, I emailed y'all the scriptures, but I didn't include this. And so he said, it's too big. He said, I'm going to put it in the chat. And he said, no, well, I'm going to email it. He kept wavering back and forth about what he wanted to do. And so I'm going back and forth between my Zoom chat and my email, trying to pull up what we were reading that day, what we were going to discuss. And as I'm going back and forth between the Zoom chat, he starts to read. So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. And he continued to read. As I heard him reading while I'm going back and forth between the chat and the email, my eyes started watering. Like I had to hold back the tears because God immediately answered me from the night before when I was wavering, when I was vacillating, going back and forth between, God, are you sure? Just like he was doing when he got on the Zoom meeting. I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm going to put it in the email. So there is no doubt in my mind that the Lord kept me and he called me for a time such as this. He sent me, I am sent me to tell you to come out from among them. I've been through a lot. Yes, part of it was from me being disobedient and participating in witchcraft. But the devil knew that this day would come. The enemy knew that this day will come. If it's only one person that gets anything from this message and say, yes, I'm going to denounce and renounce my sorority or fraternity, then my job is done. I've done what I'm supposed to do. And the reason why the medication and just everything that I went through, the enemy didn't want me to deliver this message. I have been through a lot, but I am thankful for what I went through, because my relationship that I have with God, with Jesus Christ, I wouldn't trade it. I would never deny. I will never leave his side again. And again, I know that this message probably seems to be all over the place, but I pray that you get something from it. I pray that it makes sense. And if you do receive something from it, share it, because we have to get free, y'all. We have to get free. We can't move ahead if we're still in Egypt. I thank you for watching, and I hope you get something from this video. If you would like to be a part of my family, subscribe. If you genuinely feel like I have information to offer. Thank you, thank you, thank you.